Hello chaps, it's turn 47. And what I did just now was I made a video as I played through it. And then I looked at the length of that video once I'd finished, and it was 45 minutes long. And that just really isn't respecting the viewer's time. So, making videos as you play the turn just takes way too long. You ramble on endlessly, the viewer will have their time wasted even if they aren't bored, in which case they're foolish. So it's much better to do summaries of the turn after I've played them. So Mashaka really has nothing left, not that we thought they would. We're going to get a couple of... that's pretty nice. A couple of nice sights from them. A couple of quite nice sights from them. Including... we can put earth boots on them to sight search or something. Disease healer is pretty nice. So we'll make a few of them just for that. And a mineral cave. So, once we've taken over Mashaka, we'll leave these troops where they are, just to intimidate Abyssia and Niflheim. Because we do not want to get dogpiled. Atlantis looks like they lost their thugs. They may have died over here, and we didn't have it scouted, which is sad. Hinnom has continued to advance, but our blood hunters moved away ahead of them. This Ami, I think it was scripted to retreat or something, I don't know what's there. Or it retreated from this battle. We killed our first Melkart, I think, or maybe our second Melkart. I can't remember. So that was very nice, and we even got some items off them. Where is it? Here. We actually lost a carelessly scripted Raksharaja to them as well. We should have had the Raksharajas on cast spells, but they were just... I didn't have them set to anything in the battle orders bit after the orders. So as you can see, we're planning on retaking all of our provinces for the nonce, for the now. We're also planning on leaving some patrollers behind to... maybe this still isn't enough patrols, I'm not sure. Maybe this guy needs to be given some armor. Let's just give him cheap armor. I don't believe... oh man, that's terrible armor. It's terrible. Let's give him some real armor. Maybe I should give... I'll give this guy some armor, why not? Barely makes a difference anyway. Actually, I'll keep this armor for... I can use this armor just to keep these alive in the face of any fire aura blessers. So that means I don't have to make as many shrouds. Let's see what else is going on. So we had really good blood hunting this turn. We got 196 blood slaves, and that's only going to get better if we ever get around to setting ourselves up to blood hunt in this region. So that's definitely looking up for us. We should have a scout, just to get a scouting report if it gets raided. We're going to go here. I wonder if he went AI. He still didn't... no, Abyssia went AI. Kind of sad. Surely Abyssia still had a battle here that he could have scripted. Maybe I should send the AI Abyssia some blood slaves, just so that they can summon some more giants. Now, I can use my own blood saves better than they can. I could send them some fire gems, but nah, not going to rely on AI battle scripting. We're forging a burning pearl. We're forging a skull face. The reason for that is that we want both a skull face and a skull staff on her, so that she's death 5, so that when she casts darkness, which costs 400 fatigue, it'll get halved because she's a level above, because darkness is a level 4 spell. So she'll only, only in quotation marks, she'll only suffer 200 fatigue damage. So she won't get feeble-minded from casting the spell, or whatever other horrible injury you can get from casting a 400 fatigue spell. Let's see what else is going on. We did a lot of juggling of the blood hunting, the divining rods and the daggers for summoning Rakshasa warriors and research items when we sent people out. We had to send some of our researchers out to cast blessing, so we juggled their research items over here and over here. Nothing that you need to watch me do, because it's not that fun to watch, of course. We have one blood hunter in each of these capitals. I think that's reasonable. I really need all the blood slaves I can get. This guy, he can die in one hit. He will die in one hit from a Melkart, but if the Melkart is distracted, this guy can really chonk the Melkart. So, you know, we'll see what happens. I have pretty high hopes. What I need to do, though, is I need to have mirror image scripted. Not just mist form. Need to do things a bit more properly around here. Do we have an attacker scripted here? No. Or here? I'm just checking. So this guy's probably scripted to attack. No, he isn't. I'm just gearing him up for no particular reason. Well, that's a bit peculiar. I'll give up on trying to be defensive and give him that, I think. And he can cast... Instead of that, he can cast Mist Form. So yes, this is our turn. Things are looking a little bit up for us, but you know, it depends. We don't have the scouts. Our scouting is so bad that I'm tempted to make scouts from my capital. So we do have a bunch of scouts running over here to get their asses in gear and do their job. It's totally my fault. I was horribly complacent about this whole thing. I didn't scout properly. I was assumed that Hinnom wouldn't attack me first. I did all sorts of stupid things like that. Really need to finally get our asses in gear. That's about all the interesting things for this turn. There's a couple nice details, like these guys can't lead demons, so they can't have demon bodyguards, but these guys aren't technically demons, so I can put them as bodyguards. That's not interesting. Niflheim, Atlantis and Therados are still all stagnating. I suspect that Therados may have actually... I don't see his troops here, and I don't see Atlantis' troops here. So I don't know what they're planning. I wonder if Atlantis and Therados are actually planning a joint attack upon me. Except I can't see any Atlantis troops. Maybe Atlantis is going to eat Niflheim. I would certainly like that, because, you know, I don't want to be attacked. I want to deal with Hinnom first. Yes, that's basically the turn. That's all I have to say this turn. Yeah, that's basically a summary of this turn. We killed our first Melkart. We got raided here by some long dead, and all the good long dead, the giant long dead, are dead. Truly dead, properly dead. Unliving, or whatever you want to call it. What a stupid sentence this is. So we can retake. So they probably won't be able to go any further. It's just a Mound King commanding them. This guy I think we can take out with Azrapa's. This guy we can take out here. And I don't really fear a force of long deads. I guess the problem is, though, enough long deads to distract my sacreds means that a Melkart... See, I can only kill the Melkarts if I surround them. So actually I do need enough troops to clear out the long dead quickly enough if there is a Melkart lurking amongst them here. And we did restart making Raktapatas there. It's so real. People say you need an endless stream of Raktapatas to play this nation. I still didn't know how right they were. And we're going to finally get Marble Warriors next turn, so that if Hinnom turns up with a ball of their really good sacreds... Actually, we know that their good sacreds aren't here. And we know that they're not here. So they might be here or here. So I might be in for a truly tragic fate if I push my luck and attack all of these provinces. How much am I risking in each of these? That's a pretty serious risk that I've got here. I feel like I probably have a better blood eco than Hinnom, but I might not. What if this is a terrible idea? See, this is only 3 air gems. How much are we sending in? We've got Campea coming in. Let's just play it more conservatively. Let's just go here. So now we're not going to lose this battle because we have a crap ton of sacreds here. And we're not going to lose this, and if we lose this battle it doesn't really matter too much. Whereas before we had 2 battles, either of which we might lose if there's a huge ball of Seirs here, his blood summons, his sacred blood summons. So we did need to, now we're getting a situation where it doesn't matter if we lose one and we're not going to lose the other without at least killing a lot of enemies. And now that we have all those blessers in line, we can actually go into line formation. Let's do that. It's more efficient, I'm sure. And let's spread these guys out. So he can go there. He can go there. Why does this guy have no guards? Oh well. And we'll call it a day with that. So that's turn 47 for you. See you next time. Hello, chaps. Am I too loud? Okay, that's too loud. Right. So we've played turn 48, and now we're going to give you an overview of what has occurred. The Long Dead over here failed to take this province, but we can't claim income from it anyway. This province got raided by... let's see what it was. A Kamazots, which is stealthy, and some Maziks, which are stealthy. So that's annoying. Let's see what else happened. So this province got conquered again, and in fact we lost 15 Azrapas and a Raksharaja, which is not too bad. I thought that might happen. In fact, if we look at this, I'm not sure this force would have been strong enough to fight them. I'm not sure. Actually, there probably would have been. But, I mean, half of this force came from here, so it couldn't have reached here in time. So now we're just going to move back onto Lanka and patrol it. And we'll have a lot of troops here. You can see this is almost all sacreds. In fact, it's all sacreds. It's a big ball of sacreds. And we're going to be summoning air elementals, we're going to have bloodlust, we're going to have one guy who's geared jumping onto the big bads and hopefully really dumpstering them in one round. He might die, he probably will die, but he's casting mirror image, so 2 images per air skill level. Oh, he's only 2. So that, it's only a 1 in 5 chance of killing him on the first hit, and then a 1 in 4, then a 1 in 3. If it's a 1 versus 1. So we'll see if this works. I think it should work. And he won't run into any Melkarts. He might just kill a bunch of Amis or something, his mages. And I think these guys can handle Melkarts very easily. Over here we have some Marble Warriors. I think that'll still get cast. I think the Earth Power will make it work. Jesus, that's way too loud. So yeah, we're going to have 2 people casting Marble Warriors, we're going to have Hal, we're going to have Darkness. That's the big story of this turn. I'm still not risking my Pretendagon in a battle, but we have this one over here, move patrolling onto Lanka, with 2 death boosters and 5 death gems. Going to cast Darkness. I don't think he'll try to conquer Lanka. I think he's still just testing me, I think he's still just raiding me to see what I'll do. But he is going to pay a penalty for doing that. He's going to lose this... See, this group here, if it doesn't stay where it is, if it goes here, or here, or here, we have forces lying in wait. Now, this force is just... This is just some Sacreds and some Air Elementals and some Earth buffs. This is just some Sacreds and a Howl Caster. And this is unusual, though. This is... Summon Imps, and what else is it? Actually, let's do that so that we can summon Rakshasa Warriors. It's Swarm, so we're getting a lot of chaff. We've got PD, we've got Swarm, we've got Summon Imps, and we have each of these guys. We're doing a communion with 4 slaves, and that's a bit loud still, isn't it? I need to be more sensible with my music. So we've got 4 communion slaves and 2 communion masters. They're going to communion. That's a +2 to their paths. This is +1 to their paths. And what will happen is this will cost 25 fatigue once it's reduced, I think. This will cost very little. And then these will each cost 16 or so. Very little again. So they'll be below 100 when they finish, and then they'll probably make illusory warriors or something. So I think we can easily handle this force if they move here. Let's see what else is going on. These guys still have room, but we're sending over this scout. Maybe we need more than just the one scout, actually. We had pretty good blood income this turn. I think it was 176 or something. So we are easily able to train at least 25 Rakshasa warriors a turn with that summoning. And have some left over for miscellaneous stuff. Over here... Oh yeah, there's another concern I have, which is Theridos. I have no idea why Theridos is here. I suspect he may be about to attack me. Because I don't know why else you would go into this province instead of this one. Unless you wanted to go here. He might be making a play for Mashaka. And if he does, what I'll do is... So if he goes here, next turn I'll go here with these two groups. The turn after that, he can go on to Lanka, but I will be here, so I'll be able to... If he besieges Mashaka, sorry, not Lanka, I'll be able to challenge him on that. The only problem with that is that I won't have time to build any forts, so that my dominion will be low, so these residual scales might start getting messed with by... Oh, he has turmoil scales, so we're okay for that. Let's see what else there is to say. I don't think we discovered any sites. But we didn't do any site searching either. I was very tempted to cast the remote scouting spell on these two provinces. I might still do that actually, but we'll see what happens. I think I will do it actually. Why does it go up by 10? Usually things go up by 5 when you press shift in this game, but suddenly it goes up by 10. That's quite annoying. Oh shit, I pressed the wrong button again. Okay, there we are. That should last for 8 turns. It'll give us vision of this province. Where the hell are my scouts? My scouting is so abysmally bad this game, but we're making 2 more scouts. I've actually had it with not scouting. You know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to make more scouts instead of a Rakshapata. It's so stupid that I've left it this long. What's this? Temporary astral gems. That's interesting. Don't think it's really worth it though. Another thing I've been considering is making a water bottle assassin using the Heart of Darkness or whatever it's called. What is it called? The Black Heart. I'm tempted to combine a Black Heart and that. Just to try it out, just to see if it's useful. Have one more thing in my arsenal. We'll see. What was I doing? So yeah, I'm just going to cast Voice of Apsu on this throne, I guess. Mandar's Palace. I only found one site there, so there should be more, I think. Pan, not too important. I think we can intimidate Pan with these border forces. I'm really not sure what Atlantis and Theridos are getting up to, though. It looks like they're not fighting each other anymore, which is bad news for me, because they might decide to attack me instead. Right, why are there living pillars here? Is he going to attack my blood hunters? We'll see. Or is he going to move in here and attack Niflheim? Is Theridos going to attack me with these guys? I think this is just a free spawn ball that he hasn't moved yet, but it's still a concern. But yeah, it looks like I think we can... The reason I'm playing it so defensively and so slowly against Hinnom is that I have blood hunting, and he has much weaker blood hunting than me. So if I can keep my blood hunting running, then I will gradually outmass him and win that way. And I don't need to take these risks. Another reason I'm playing safe is that I can only fight his Melkarts by having a lot of Sacreds. I can't counter-thug. because he just instantly kills my demons. If he hits them once, they die. And that's basically the end of this turn. Got another air elemental sacred ball here as well. Nothing too crazy. So yeah, see you guys next time. This was turn 48. Hello chaps, it's turn 49. And this is the overview of what happened today. So we summoned 30 Rakshasa warriors last turn. We only discovered one site, but it's a plus 75 gold site. And that's actually pretty useful, because we don't have any spare gold to recruit proper mages here, or here yet. And we were really scraping together the money to build a temple. We don't have the money to upgrade this fort or build a temple here. And if we can build another temple after the one here, it'll boost our dominion strength. And that'll be useful against Niflheim in this little area here. It'll probably be useful against Niflheim here as well, if he ever decides to attack me. I'm not going to attack first. And it'll probably be useful against Hinnom, because I don't think Hinnom has... He probably has order scales. I think that's what you go for as Hinnom. Like, these guys don't have chaos power, so you would go order scales. So when Yomi finally dies, which isn't happening yet, Hinnom's dominion will start to take over, and if we can have a nice big flood of our own dominion coming through instead, that'll be very important. What else is there to say? So we saw a raid, we saw some battles, but I'll go into those after saying, I think this was 146 blood slaves, I can't remember now. Let's see, it was 56, 64, 70, 87, 120, 149 blood slaves, which is not great, but it's not a total wipeout. Oh yeah, so we caught this group of raiders. Finally they ran into something they couldn't fight. But if you look at it, it's a pretty low commitment group of raiders. I think it already paid for itself pretty well. Something to consider though is that we absolutely wasted a huge amount of gems in this fight, because we used 6 air gems and 2 astral pearls, 5 nature gems and 7 blood slaves in this fight. And really, it was actually completely overdone. It was way more than we needed to do. Because look at how this Melkart gets destroyed. What's the max HP? 69, right? He'll probably kill an air elemental or two. No, he gets trampled, but dodges it with his defense skill. Kills a Markata. And... yeah, now he's dead. He's routing. Why is he routing? I think he's routing because his army died. But you see what happens next is, yeah, he just dies to some air elementals. And that's even without Iron Warriors cast on him or anything. So we did get an Amulet of Anti-Magic and a Flesh Eater. So that's 5 Blood Slaves and 5 Astral Pearls. But in exchange we used 7 Blood Slaves and 21 pearls. No. It was 13 pearls, I think. Why can't I count suddenly? Yes, 13 gems overall. So actually, he kind of won this exchange in terms of cost effectiveness. Of course, the good thing for me is that now I've seen a communion in action, and I did check this, and I learned a bit from how much fatigue was incurred and how long it took to do things. So that was nice. As you can see, we put a fire skull on this guy to cast Augury. The next battle to discuss. Grievil's Bog. So we're still getting raided, which is very annoying. Vanheim is popping out in completely random provinces to attack Pan. I think that's kind of pointless. We have destroyed some PD there. That's not interesting. We're getting raided again. That doesn't matter much. It's annoying. And here is another final battle against... yeah, it's kind of sad, really. Like mannequins, leogryphs, dispossessed spirits, terracotta soldiers, and a cave drake. It's just kind of pointless, really. I wonder if the cave drake actually killed the Azrapas. That's an interesting question, is what killed the Azrapas. Because this is the one with our prophet in it. And we found a thistle mace, which we don't have any plans to use immediately, but we will. And an eye shield, which I guess that's nice against Melkarts, but their magic resistance is probably too high to go blind. Bits of the messenger, which is nice because it's a plus reinvigoration item. Therados moved away from here back into here, and that definitely looks like they're going to attack Atlantis again, so that's good news for me. What else happened? Also, they cleared out their chaff here and brought it into this castle, so I think what they're going is they're going to attack this throne. That's my assumption. Or maybe they're just having a chaff collection day. So Hinnom's force that was here, which was a small one anyway, has moved back here. So clearly he's kind of waiting to see my next move. He's kind of toying with me, is what I think. So what we're doing is we're just sending out an Azrapa with... I wonder if I should give him a shield. I think I will actually give... Costs 10? 12 versus MR. Yeah, I don't think anything's surviving multiple Melkart hits, so it's basically one hit or you're dead. I think we're going to give this guy a shield, because he might run into these Bakemono shows. Probably not, but he might. We're also cloud trapezing a fairly geared Raksharaja onto here. Actually, he's not geared. He's not really geared because he doesn't have armor. He has mist form and mirror image though, which is nice, and skeletal body. That's what he scripted him to cast. Oh, speaking of casting, there's one thing I forgot to do in this turn so far, which is I forgot to... the Pan player, Infinitum, actually gave me a very helpful tip, which is, instead of faffing around with these level 1 priests... Oh, where have I put the blood slaves now? That's annoying. Okay, let's not cast Ball of Blood, because it's pretty pointless anyway. There's almost no blood sites in the game anyway. What was I saying? So yeah, we're going to create a little communion just to cast holy, you know, the Holy Three blessing on our troops. And I guess it'll be this guy who does it. Hopefully our regen bless means we won't kill anyone doing this. And then divine blessing, and then bloodlust, and then air elemental, and then reinvigoration. And hopefully he uses the rest of these gems on air elementals too, but I have no idea if he will. And this guy can stop blessing because he can just do this a bit more, and we'll do the same trick on him. Reinvigoration followed by air elemental. Research wise, we got evocation 5, and the reason I got that is for one purpose, which is storm, just so that we can boost our casters a bit, our air casters. I guess it's okay for stellar cascades, and maybe poison. Maybe these other spells are a bit useful too. We can cast healing mists actually. That's an interesting one because it affects both sides. I don't know what to make of that one. So yeah, we're dealing with these raiders. We're going to leave these troops here to intimidate Pan, hopefully. And maybe we should have items on this guy. just in case they try to assassinate him. I think that's what I will do. Man, that magic resistance is garbage. Oh yeah, and I should give someone these research items as well. What else is there to say? Not much. So it's nice that we killed these guys, but we wasted so many gems doing it. We saw a little communion in action. I've never done communions yet. We're casting some more site searching, but not much. We saw over here that Mechane's capital is here, if I remember this map right. So Mechane is tiny, given that Hinnom's right there. So I sent him a message encouraging him to attack Hinnom. It's a bit like Niflheim and Mashaka, which is that Mechane and Vanheim have stagnated because neither have been able to conquer the other. Same with Atlantis and Theridos. Which suggests to me that both players are too passive. Because when you're in that kind of 1v1, you have to win. Even if it takes throwing everything, like did they ever de-level their mages, that kind of thing. If they didn't, then maybe they should have. Let's see what else is going on. So, not really much. We've done some more stuff, like we've given this guy earth boots, or the other guy, this guy earth boots, so he can cast more marble warriors more easily. We're forging lightless lanterns, and our research, once we get enchantment 7 for mass regen, is that why we're getting it? Why are we getting enchantment 7 anyway? Ritual of rebirth? No. Life after death? I mean, that's not terrible. Why am I getting this spell anyway? Earthblood Deepwell? Kind of greedy. Lion Sentinels? Not really relevant. Thetis Blessing, not in... Oh, Mass Flight. Well, that's why. Right, okay. I knew there was a reason why. It's Mass Flight. And that'll really allow us to surround the Melkarts easily. And after that, Conjuration 7, by which time we'll have a lot of death saved up. At least 50 for one Wraithlord. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to empower him in air to cast Wind of Death or Wailing Winds. Although that's a thought. Why am I not thinking about casting those spells? Wailing Winds, level 6 evocation spell. What am I doing not casting this? Jesus. What a terrible... I'm actually so bad at this game, it's unreal. Well, I'm halfway through this enchantment anyway, so let's get Evocation 6, then Conjuration 6, then I don't know. We'll decide later what our priorities are. Oh, and as usual, we're casting a lot of Summon Rakshasa Warriors. I want how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 5, and then 6. So it's another 30, it's another 150 blood slaves worth of Rakshasa warriors. Another 30 Rakshasas. Not bad, not bad, not bad. I think we do win this in the long run, to say the least. The problem is that Pan is going to know that, and I think he's going to break my NAP, our NAP, pretty soon. I guess though Pan doesn't have to attack me immediately, because now that he's finished off Abyssia, he's been pretty small the whole game due to struggling against Abyssia and Vanheim. If I was him, maybe I would just let Hinnom deal with me, or at least delay me, even if I win against Hinnom. And I would actually focus on destroying Vanheim and Mechane, because I know that they're weak. The problem is that doing that would leave your troops over this end of the map, so maybe my plan as Pan, if I wasn't going to attack Lanka immediately, would be to go through here, then go through here and come down here, and it's all terribly complicated, isn't it? So this candle goes here. This candle goes there and there. This candle goes there. So Pan could go here and then like down there or something. So maybe that's what Pan will do. You know, he'll conquer this province with a big army, go there, go there, go there, or something, just to surprise me. I don't know. I don't know what Pan is planning, but I'm sure I'll find out a lot more soon than I would prefer to. Oh, another funny thing that happened is that we discovered a scout in Lanka, and we burned several of our sacreds to death with our own fire resistance aura. Very embarrassing. Oh well. Niflheim appears to be... appears to be not too assertive. Maybe he's preaching in this province. I think he probably is preaching here. Bloody annoying. Oh, and another thing is that we might cast Trollking Court pretty soon. Next turn. In fact, next turn I might even offload these gems from these guys, because that's 7 gems. And then I'll cast Trollking Court. And that's the end of turn 49. We'll see what happens to these tiny raiding parties that I'm sending in. I'm sure at least one of them will get chonked, but there's only one way to find out, and we are sending the less valuable ones. These forces can easily kill PD, but they're only worth a few hundred gold each. Actually, that's a fair bit of gold, actually, come to think of it, but they cost maintenance. So see you chaps next time. Hello chaps, hello, it's day 50, turn 50. And what have we seen so far? We saw the AI Abyssialusum troops over here, we're seeing Pan advancing on Vanheim, and we will have a scout in position to watch that, which is nice. We've also figured out what the throne situation is. By process of deduction, we now know that this is the Throne of Fire. Actually quite a painful throne. If Pan gets that, it really will boost their white centaurs a lot against my high defense skill sacreds. So that's quite important to know, actually. And it'll boost their thugs a bit too, with the attack skill. So we're still, now that Mashaka's gone, their dominion is up for grabs, so we're preaching with these guys, and we've built a temple here. We're also training a Raktapata and one of those nature guys, so that we can do site searching and blood hunting. We've got some ravens, or whatever they're called, hawks. They look like ravens or crows to me. I don't know why they're hawks. We recaptured all of these provinces with just these little raiding groups like this, and we also cloud trapezed onto here because it's got some gem income in it, and we'll send him over there just for a little bit of gold. Maybe that's wasteful. Maybe we don't really need this gold. I don't know. What have we got him scripted to do? Mirror image, skeletal body, mist form, and blessing. Okay, that's fine. Let's see what's happening next. Our blood hunting was fantastic this turn. We got 239 blood slaves. And we're not even getting crippled by unrest anywhere. We're not blood hunting in our capitals. We're patrolling out all of the unrest. So we are killing a lot of people, but that's okay. They'll last for a long time before they dip below 5,000 again. This little Hinnom raid has finally been eradicated. So really the border with Hinnom is almost back to where it started. The only difference is that this province. Although the border isn't what matters. What matters is the troops. Hinnom has 7 Melkarts here, so he's obviously planning on attempting to destroy Yomi next turn. Hinnom also has a large force here that includes his Son of the Fallen, so we'll see what comes of that. I'm not going to move out this turn because I kind of want to just make one more because we're summoning Trollkin Court, we're making another Raksharaja, we're summoning some more Rakshasa warriors, importantly, we're making 2 more of the wine bags of these, because we do not want to start starving and have low morale if we can avoid it. Let's see, what else is there to say? We're researching evocation level 6. Why am I doing that though? I'm not sure why I'm doing it. Flame Eruption not useful, Perpetual Storm not useful, Wrathful Skies not useful, Cleansing Water not useful. Actually, well, we'll have Friendly Fire on ourselves if we do that. That's not useful. That's pretty cool. That's an armor negating it. It's pretty cool, but it's magic resistance negates, so I don't know if that's important. Mind Hunt, not useful because I'm not going to bother making because both of our neighbours have Astral anyway, and I can't be bothered to make the boosters because they're expensive. Wrath of God, we don't have the resources to cast it. Oh, it's because of Wailing Winds. That's why we're doing it. So yes, next turn we'll move out with this guy, and it's a big risk to take this into battle, but that's what it's for. The only thing we're using this for is to take into battle, because if we need high death rituals, we already have Death 5 on our Pretender God without even the Skull Staff. So yeah, we're researching Wailing Winds, we're summoning a few more troops, and then we'll move out once that's occurred. And we have our little Communion Slave Master thing to cast Divine Blessing as well, which is very important. We're forging 2 Frostbrands, and they're not actually for our own use. We're going to sell 2 Frostbrands, a Vine Shield. Do we have a Vine Shield? Shit, I better make sure I actually have a Vine Shield to send to him. Where the hell is it now? So yeah, next turn I'm going to sell 2 Frostbrands, a Vine Shield, and 5 Earth Gems to Vanheim, and in return they'll send me 5 Alquills. Now you might be saying, but why Bing Shilao? It's turn 50, and you're buying Alquills? They're terrible. And my response to that is that I didn't want to mess him around too long in the negotiations. It's still 30 research. I'm still trying to scrape together whatever research I can. It's research that doesn't require extra mages to be researching. And really, I actually came to him with the offer, because I want to send Vanheim some items to strengthen his thugs. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. In fact, I'll probably throw in these items as well, because I don't have any plans to use them anytime soon. And maybe that's a foolish thing to do, but I'm still going to do it. I'm going to do that. Because I want his thugs to maybe kill a few more of Pan's thugs. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So yeah, over here, I should probably be moving out this turn, but then I'll be coming up against all of Hinnom's forces. I'd rather just have one more turn, 2 more Endless Bags of Wine, a few more gems, a lot more Rakshasa warriors. We're casting 1, 2, 3, 4, no that's 5, 6, 7, 8. So yes, 8 casts of Rakshasa warriors, that's 40 extra sacreds. Let's call it 41 now, that's too expensive. So 40 extra sacreds. We currently have 80, 65. We currently have 210 sacreds. So increasing that to 250 is pretty significant, especially since we really need to be able to surround these Melkarts. We can't fight them in small groups, have to surround them, have to have the numbers to do that. And actually making these bags of wine, these bags of endless wine, each one of them grants 50 supply points. And each Rakshasa warrior, I think that means they consume 4 times. Oh my goodness. I think each of them actually consumes 4. So yeah, plus, so we're still going to be starving, but at least the extra bags of wine will reduce the effects, reduce how many of them are starving all at once. It's kind of unfortunate though. So we'll have 800 versus. Yeah, we should actually be just about okay. I don't think we'll be starving very much, but it should be okay. So yeah, I'm not too worried about Hinnom. I am kind of worried. I'm not too worried about Pan in the immediate future either, because he's going after Vanheim. So the question is, will Therados attack me? I kind of suspect that Atlantis and Therados have made a deal with one another. But Therados has moved back down into here, so I don't think he's planning to attack me, but I don't know why he's over here. Maybe he's planning on making a huge play for this throne, but do you really need everything? Do you need all of this to do that? Surely you have some good thugs by turn 50. Is he planning to chop off... Is he planning to invade Mechany or something? I don't know what Therados is doing. What if there's a grand coalition building against me and Therados and Atlantis are planning to attack me? Atlantis had these troops in this province last turn as well. So is he planning to attack Niflheim? Is he planning to attack me very annoyingly in this province? Why is there no one there? Oh, we found a scout and I had my Blood Hunter scripted to retreat. So he ran away from the scout, which is very annoying. We're also casting a lot of site searches this turn. Nothing too fascinating about that, and we're moving a couple of our big mages over this way so they can site search through here. We're casting Troll King's Court, if you didn't notice, or if I didn't mention it yet. So he'll be able to cast the Earth Buff very easily. So it won't be Earth 2s anymore, it'll be a Troll King with Earth 3. And another guy with Earth Boots. So we won't cast Earth Power at the start of the battle. We'll just go straight into the Marble Warriors. And that is pretty much it now. I think that really is the end of this turn. I can't think what else there is to say. We're looking pretty good against Hinnom, I think. And it would be very hard to fight Pan and Hinnom at the same time, because we do only have 40 Rakshasa Warriors a turn. So if I put 40 Rakshasa Warriors over here to fight Pan, you know, there's 40 less over here, and so on. You get the idea. I think we have the ability with Darkness, with Wailing Winds. Is Wailing Winds actually enemy only, or does it affect everyone? That's a pretty important thing to know. All enemies. So yeah, it's a great spell. So I think we will be crushing Hinnom pretty easily. Although I guess Wailing Winds isn't too important against them, because their giants are high morale probably. Certainly Melkots are. Their Long Dead don't have morale. So we'll see what happens with that. Another thing that I'm kind of looking forward to, after I forge these frost brands, I'll re-equip this water bracelet, and I will really go crazy with the water site searching. And we have 7 water income currently, that's not bad, but if we can really ramp it up, this is the only site I found this turn, for any path. If we can summon a Sea King's Court, that would be very nice, some elite troops, from having nothing to do with our water to having a bunch of elite troops, that's nice. Reconquering these provinces has given me 5. It's given me 5 extra air income. We also get some from here, I think, maybe. Maybe we get some nice nature income. So this is a really good store. It's a really good fund for air elementals. Oh, and that's another reason I'm waiting another turn. I want to transmit these items once they come here. I'm going to transmit them over here, and that'll be my big attack force. And as you can see, our scouts have finally arrived as well. So that's pretty important. And that's the end of turn 50. Hello chaps, it's turn 51, and as you can see, a new challenger has appeared. Atlantis has not messaged me, but there's no reason they would. It's very clear that they're going to attack me, and so we are performing a manoeuvre known as the bombshell. And the bombshell is when your encampment gets bombed and you run in every direction. You have people fleeing in every direction, so that's what we're doing. Our puny little blood hunters are retreating. No biggie, no biggie. We had 241 blood slave income this turn, so we can cope with a little bit less. And where Atlantis goes, we can surmise that Therados will also go. I think they've made an agreement with each other. And I think Therados is going to raid me down here, and I think they're also going to invade me up here. Their Telkeen God King is here. So I turned around these 35 Palankashas, sorry, because I don't really know what Therados has that can kill them, so I'm going to see if I can find out that the only way possible. Against Hinnom, we're looking pretty solid. We have the air, we have the death, and we have the nature piles for all the good spells. And you may have been thinking to yourself in these previous turns, why on earth isn't he talking about fog warriors? And the answer is because I'm terrible and I forgot about it. However, we got a very, very lucky event this turn in Meshaka's luck scales that gave us a bag of wins. And it's right here. We're using it to boost up to Air 4 to forge a winged helmet, which is of course also an air booster. And once we have that, we'll be going on the rampage. We'll absolutely be going on the rampage pronto. What is this guy doing with barely anything here? So we're going to add this guy to the numerous Raksharajas that are racing. They have 18 map moves, which is pretty good. Racing towards Xibalba to defend it, as well as this guy. So that's actually 4 of them. And we're also summoning 15 Raksharaja warriors using these daggers on Raktapatas. Because I'm sure he's going to aim for the main prize, which is Xibalba. He could also go for this throne. If he does, though, we'll have 6 of these air mages. And we'll do what we did against that Melkart. We'll summon an awful lot of air elementals, and I think that will really, really hurt. Speaking of which, we have a huge amount of air gems. I was really worried about the air gem income, but it's just we have quite a lot banked up, and that's even with the forging of this winged helmet. We still have 29 and 11 income per month. So we're going to do bloody well for ourselves as far as the air gems are concerned. And what else did I have to say? So over here, I think Therados is going to go through this route. He's been conquering these provinces recently, so we're going to scout him in here, and I'm pretty sure he's going to attack me here and head for Meshaka. So it's fortunate that we have these troops lying around. And so we have a plan. We have forces in motion to each of these 3 areas where we're about to be attacked. Here, here, and here. And I suppose the Ghost King might try some malarkey as well, but we'll see, I don't know if he will. Against Hinnom, oh yes, he fought his battle against Yomi. Yomi is dead. It wasn't a particularly interesting battle, really. The Idol of Men didn't actually have much interesting to cast. The Dionis, of course, weren't able to survive the Melkarts, and that's basically the story of that battle. They did manage to clog up the gate for a while they destroyed a lot of undead, but not a single Rephite warrior died, and only 1 Melkart died, and a couple of other mages and mountains. So nothing terribly important. But I'm feeling pretty solid. I'm feeling pretty solid against Hinnom in the future, because we're going to go into battles casting Darkness, Howl, and Fog Warriors, and that's really going to put people in the dumpster. We're really going to dumpster them. Maybe I should use a Sabbath. Oh, but no, I can't use Sabbaths to boost up, to cast those spells. And the reason I can't do that is that if I have all my priests scripted, if I have the little priests scripted to cast Sabbath Slave, and the large ones scripted to cast Divine Blessing, then of course what happens if I run across a scout is that they won't cast Sabbath Slave, because that requires a slave to be killed, and it's only a scout, so why are we going to cast gems? We're not going to use them. And so one bloody priest somewhere will cast Blessing, and then they'll set fire to everyone else. Then all my other sacreds will burn to death. I sincerely think that if I have people scripted into a Sabbath to cast Divine Blessing and all the rest of it, that if I run across a single scout, or even just PD, I'll burn half of my own sacreds to death. And this bless I have, is truly the worst, most annoying bless ever, because we summoned this guy as well. And then we realised that, of course, trolls start with -10. -10, and they're not sacred, -10 fire resistance. So this guy we can put equipment on, but these guys are just going to be set on fire, and they're going to die if we send them anywhere with priests and sacreds. So we have to use them as their own independent little outfit. It's very, very annoying. I'm so regretful about picking this terrible, terrible bless. Why didn't I just go for E5 and fire and shock resistance for the same price on my Pretender? It would have been so much better if I'd done that. So annoying, so annoying. Another thing that's interesting is we've realised that we can probably cast Foul Vapours. Where is it? Where is Foul Vapours? Isn't it Evocation? Must be Thaumaturgy or something. No, I don't know what Thaumaturgy even means. Yes, here it is. So if we give her the magic, this one, and we give her a nature gem, then she can cast Foul Vapours. And we might also, next turn we'll probably move one of these guys into Xibalba as well, so that we have Foul Vapours. Fortunately, when these enemies come into these provinces, oh bugger it, he'll be equipped to deal with Foul Vapours, because he's been fighting Therados. So his thugs will probably be protected, unless he decided that I won't have poison damage, and if he there, but his thugs aren't going to die to Foul Vapours very soon anyway, if they just have a Ring of Regen. But we can maybe kill off this chap, it depends. It depends on his nature access. He might not have much. And of course, Pan is not going to take much longer to destroy Abyssia and to destroy Vanheim, probably. And when he's done with that, he might want a piece of me. He could also invade Mechane, of course. It's also a totally viable option. But he might want a piece of me, so we'll see what happens. And then there's Niflheim, who again, I'm his only land border. So I'm the only one he can possibly fight. So he doesn't really have a choice. He can sit on his arse and do a bit of site searching and do some researching and recruit more geishas and sort out his thugs. But eventually, sooner or later, he has to attack me. And I think what he's doing is he's waiting to see how I fare against the other opponents first. Which is fine, it's totally sensible. Hinnom, I think we have the forces to keep at bay and maybe to invade and capture Yomi as well. He does, I think he has neutral. If we look at this province, this is his dominion, and I don't think he has Turmoil or Order, so we can fight in his dominion. It's not as good as fighting in ours, but we can do it. We might have to fight in our own dominion if his Melkarts have really high defense skill or something. Probably not, though. Probably not. And Pan, again, we can't fight Pan in his dominion. Same with Niflheim. These order scales are really something. And kind of Atlantis. We can't fight in this province. Obviously, we can't fight underwater anyway. So that's turn 51. There's a lot to be said about Atlantis and Therados and how we're going to fight them. Unfortunately, I don't know what it is. I know that I'm going to be saying a lot about them in the future. I just don't know what they have on the table. We're going to examine them when they attack our PD. And we'll see how it goes. With our desperate summoning of the 15 Rakshasa warriors here, with our scrambling of the 4 Raksharajas, and with our additional option to put a Foul Vapours caster in here, and I think we're also bringing this guy along to cast Marble Warriors. So yes, we'll see. Oh, and we're also making a crystal coin and a Starshine Skullcap. I know I said I wouldn't, but when Atlantis attacks in here, we are going to be able to view their astral access, and especially their thugs we're going to be able to examine. So we might be able to do a huge amount of damage to Atlantis with Mindhunt. It's definitely something we'll want to have available. So that's the end of turn 51. See you chaps next time.